Good afternoon and welcome to Eastern Lifestyle. I'm your host, Davia Pugh.
And I'm your reporter, Kaylee Riccatelli.
We're so happy to have you today. We've got an awesome show coming your way. We'll visit a farm and nursery in Grimesland to learn about the many benefits of eating this fantastic fruit. We'll find out where you can get gourmet mushrooms in Greenville. Plus, you will find out how to save some coins when you dine at this fantastic ENC restaurant. That's all coming up soon, but now let's get into what makes this day special.
What does make today special?
Today is National All Is Ours Day.
Okay, so what is that?
So it is basically appreciating all the things that have to do with beauty around us and nature and just really soaking it in.
Huh.
That's what it's about.
That's really interesting.
Getting outside a little bit and just, soaking it in. I don't know what else to say about it. But, there are some approaches that you can take with this day. Number one, you can just reflect on nature. Number two, you can appreciate any and everything that has to do with life itself. And then number three is sharing what we have with others. So whether you want to, share your food with somebody or give somebody just something out of the kindness of your heart. It's kind of just whatever you want to do.
That's interesting.
Right?
So that's why it's called All Is Ours Day.
Yeah.
Because it's about sharing.
Sharing. And also reflecting and just being one with nature and the atmosphere.
Huh.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
That's really cool.
It is, right? So that's what you can do today.
And do you know how you can get in touch with nature today?
How?
By going to a zoo. Because today is National Zoo Lovers Day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So today recognizes, one, people who love zoos, and two, everything that zoos do with conservation and preservation efforts, and how they benefit animal communities, because a lot of zoos take care of endangered species. They give a safe environment to injured animals to rehabilitate, and then sometimes they're set free, sometimes they're kept in the zoo and taken care of from there. And also it gives people a place to enjoy animals they otherwise wouldn't see. Like, I'm probably never gonna get to Africa to see an elephant and a giraffe.
Really?
But I'm not a big traveler.
I know, you haven't been on the plane yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, the only country I've ever had a desire to go to is Italy, just because I want to see the history there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, I'm probably never gonna get to those places to go on a safari and see all that kind of stuff, but I can go to a zoo.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So, it recognizes people who love zoos, what zoos do, and we have a super cool zoo right here in North Carolina.
We do.
The North Carolina Zoo is the largest natural habitat zoo in the world.
That's amazing.
And they have been praised far and wide for all their efforts in, one, conservation, and two, putting animals in as close to their natural environment as they can, because they have, I forget the exact number, but it's like hundreds to thousands of animals.
Wow.
And they have like animals from Asia and Africa and colder climates that aren't really close to what we have in North Carolina, but they try to mimic that as much as they can to make the animals comfortable. Like, it's not a polar bear in a 50-degree environment, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Check out the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro today. if you can.
Definitely.
Yeah.
These are cool days.
Do you like zoos?
No, they're okay. I don't really go to them.
Oh my god.
It's been a long time since I went to a zoo. I was little.
Oh,
but I do love animals, so.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So now it's time for our ENC event. You can experience Sherlock Holmes in the First Baker Street at Smiles and Frowns Playhouse in Ayden on April 11th and 12th from 2 to 4 p.m. You will follow young Wiggins as she stumbles into the world of Sherlock Holmes and becomes his assistant. Together with a group of street urchins, they take on 2 dangerous mysteries. For more info about this play and to purchase tickets, visit the Smiles and Frowns website.
That sounds really interesting.
Right?
I love Sherlock Holmes.
The thing is, I have not watched it.
See, I've never really watched Sherlock. I haven't really watched the show. I know some about the books. I don't think I've read
I don't know much
a
about
Sherlock Holmes
Sherlock at
book
all.
cover to cover. But just like the way that Arthur Conan Doyle writes, and it's like, oh, it trips you out a little bit, and it's so cool.
Oh, okay, nice.
Coming up after this short break, we're going to reveal how a fruit with unique qualities grown at this very farm can boost your wellness in a variety of ways. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Davia, and today we are at the Forest of Eden in Grimesland to learn all about figs and its many health benefits. I am here with Malcolm, the owner of Forest of Eden. Thank you so much for allowing us to be here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. So can you please tell us what Forest of Eden is about?
So we are, technically I cannot say organic. We're a beyond organic farm. We work with what we believe to be truly organic stuff, mostly animal manures and that sort of thing. And it's about, you know, providing a nursery as well as a farm. You can come here and try the fruit. If you like the fruit, you can buy the tree from us and take it home with you.
I know that you all specialize in figs here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about figs.
So figs are a really cool crop. They're easy to propagate. If you take a branch this far, you can stick it in the ground, there's at least a 50% chance that's going to be a tree next year. They're just very, very popular, especially in the Mediterranean climate. And, you know, America being a melting pot with everyone coming from all over everywhere, figs were one thing people would bring with them to remind them of back home. So because it was so easy to propagate, they were pretty much guaranteed to, you know, bring 2 or 3 cuttings. At least one of them would become a tree that would remind them of what they are missing back at the house.
Gotcha.
So this is the Israeli 7 fig. This was brought here in the 1970s by a pastor who was actually on the way to Jerusalem. He brought it back after going out in the wilderness, and he found a wild fig tree, and he said it was the best fig he'd ever tasted. So he took a couple of cuttings. 7 is what they tell me, but no one's really sure. I've heard different stories, but the one I was told was 7, which is why I call this Israeli 7. But there was 7 cuttings, only one of them took, and he actually left it, you know, with his great-grandkids, I think it was. Other than me, they're the only ones who have one of the original trees. Any other tree other than that of this variety that is sold in the United States came from this tree right here.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing.
So this is the Israeli 7 fig that we just picked. In my opinion, this is underripe, but give it a try because this is what most people actually eat is an underripe fig. Yes, ma'am. This is the most common. If you go to Trader Joe's or somewhere like that, that's what they're gonna sell you. And that's why theirs are so cheap compared to fresh, locally grown produce, is because they pick them so early, because once they're ripe, you've only got a day or 2.
All right, let's see how this tastes. My first time trying it. It's good.
Yes, ma'am. But it gets so much better from there.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited.
This is my favorite texture, but this is actually a Celeste or a brown turkey, which is not my favorite variety. This is one of the more common ones that you'll find in this area. So you said you never had a fig. This is what is most common. When you think of a fig from Eastern North Carolina, this is what people are thinking about.
We get a surprise when I bite into this. Let's see how this tastes.
That's the bag of jelly.
That's good.
Yes,
wow,
ma'am.
that is literally like jelly. What? I really like figs.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. And they're good for you.
Now that I know all the health benefits, this is exciting
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I'm always looking for something else to try. So, and I love fruit. This is great.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
Man, these mosquitoes out here are really feisty today, but it was worth it because we got to learn all about figs and I got to try some for the first time. I really enjoyed the last one. That was my favorite. It was sweet and ripe. But make sure you all come check Forest of Eden out and stay tuned for more on Eastern Lifestyle.
It's time for a quick draw where we draw something random in 30 seconds or less, and I'm gonna have you draw a bird for Draw a Bird Day.
Oh!
Owl.
Oh, okay. So, today's Draw a Bird Day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm like, let's have you draw a bird.
Let's draw a bird.
And I like owls, they're cute.
They are really cute.
Yeah.
They're kind of freaky. Have you ever
The way they
seen
spin their whole head is...
an owl with like its feathers lifted up?
No, I haven't actually.
It's actually insane. Like they are so tiny underneath there.
4 seconds.
But they like...
Stop.
There's my owl.
Oh, that's a good owl.
Getting a little spot on his belly and little wings here.
Oh, that's a cute little owl.
Thank you. The eyes are what freak me out about
The
owls.
eyes always, they're so piercing.
There was one time, there was an owl outside my window at like 7 in the morning that hooed so loud.
Really?
They're scary.
Catch all the latest and past episodes
At WNCT.com/Eastern-Lifestyle. Welcome back to Eastern Lifestyle. I'm here with Adam Sanderson of Tilted Cap Mushrooms, and he's here to tell us about some of the mushrooms he grows here.
Kaylee, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I was in food manufacturing I have a 20-year career in that, and I grew to a place where I was discontent. I was far removed from the growing of the product. I was far removed from the local community who was consuming it, and I wanted to do something on my own. So I wanted to do something that was environmentally conscious, that was healthy for people, and to provide something that people just couldn't get elsewhere.
So why mushrooms?
So when you go to the supermarket, you see button mushrooms, you might see some portobellas, you might see some creminis. So 90% of the mushrooms that we eat in the US are one species. And a button mushroom, a portobello, and a cremini are all the same species. But there are over 2,000 species of edible mushrooms in the world. So I wanted to provide the community with more options, more variety, and have them eat something that's good for them and provides real medicinal benefits in many cases.
So how are the mushrooms grown?
So we can see here we have a little petri dish. Everything starts with cell cultures like petri dishes, and eventually everything gets put in bags like this, which is just water, sawdust, and soybean.
So how many different kinds of mushrooms do you grow?
So I grow 5 different kinds right now, all of which we see here. So here we have chestnuts. We have oyster mushrooms here, some king trumpets, some lion's mane, which we'll talk about, and then there's some shiitake in there.
So what are some of the health benefits that can come from lion's mane mushrooms?
Sure, so this is a lion's mane here. We can see it's got the kind of, they call them teeth. It's got long teeth that kind of hang down when they're almost fully grown. So that is a legitimate gourmet mushroom that holds its ground with any of these other ones, right? They taste fantastic. There's been numerous studies. For example, there was a study done in Japan where they gave it to women who had mild anxiety problems for a month. And after a month, they showed, lower anxiety, lower stress levels, lower depression levels. There are studies done that indicate that it limits cognitive decline in aging people. These are small studies. A lot of them are, those are human studies. A lot of them are animal studies. So the science is still, coming through on this. They're doing new studies every year, but the general trend is that there's benefits for cognitive impairment, depression. There's studies, animal studies that show they think it can limit ulcers, inflammation. It's a range of benefits. There's a lot of people who take supplements of these. Some tinctures, powdered extracts, they put it in gummies. Some people put it in their coffee. I do that.
From the mushrooms you've grown, is there maybe like a favorite dish that you like to make with them?
So I'll start by saying, because a lot of people see these and they're intimidated. They're like, what on earth do I do with these crazy things? I've yet to meet a mushroom that didn't work when you just saute it with butter and oil and some garlic and some salt. It always works. The lion's mane specifically, people will make, believe it or not, amazing like lion's mane steaks out of them, vegan steaks. The oysters, I've seen doing like crispy breaded fried oysters. They all have different textures, and the great thing about mushrooms is that they absorb whatever flavor that you put into them. So they're really versatile, and chefs have a lot of options when they use them.
So you guys are now open in a local farmer's market, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm excited to be there. You can find us every Saturday throughout the growing season at the Leroy James Farmers Market. I want everybody to come and say hello and check out our awesome mushrooms. I'm excited about it. I'm currently going to local restaurants to see if they're interested, to see if the chefs can use them in their menus. I've been doing that just over the past couple of months. And then also, you can go to our website. You can actually get home deliveries of these guys.
Thank you very much for joining us today and telling me about Tilted Cap mushrooms. And be sure to stay tuned on Eastern Lifestyle to find out more awesome things here in Eastern North Carolina.
It's time for the life hack of the day. Did you know that you can keep your biscuits moist by using a damp paper towel in the microwave? Just place one over them and then microwave for about 20 seconds. The moisture from the towel is supposed to keep them from drying out so they stay warm and fluffy.
See, I do a similar thing with my pizza in the microwave.
Okay.
I microwave it with a cup of water in there so it steams it and it doesn't get like soggy on the bottom.
Oh.
It like,
interesting.
yeah, it steams them
cool.
almost. It's kind of the same concept as putting a paper towel on the biscuits. I never thought of that though.
Yeah, I've never thought about using a damp paper towel.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You just kind of put it over it.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Because they can get dried out easily.
Yes,
So
oh my gosh.
So that'll be a good
Maybe
one to try.
Any kind of like reheating bread.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
All right, so now it is time for us to get into trivia. So who was the first governor of North Carolina? Was it A, Samuel Ashe, B, Richard Caswell, C, James Iredell, or D, Thomas Bragg? We'll have the answer right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up after the break on Eastern Lifestyle, we're getting a taste of Philadelphia in Jacksonville. Learn how you can save. Stay tuned.
All right, we're back. If you guessed B, Richard Caswell, you're correct. Richard Caswell became governor of North Carolina on January 16, 1777, and was sworn into office at Tryon Palace in New Bern.
The following segment is sponsored by Philly Guy Subs.
Hey everyone, I'm your host Davia, and it's time for Be Our Guest, where we help you save money while having an amazing dining experience. Today we are at Philly Guy Subs in Jacksonville. You guys make sure to head to WNCT.com and find the Be Our Guest tab to get your $50 certificate for only $25 because these will sell out fast. So today we are here with the owner of Philly Guy Subs, Chef James. Thank you so much for having us today.
Thanks for coming out.
Of course, these look delicious in front of us. So let's start with this one. Tell us what we have.
That's our Italian hoagie. It's probably one of the most popular sandwiches that we have. There's 3 different types of meat on there. There's hot capicola, there's salami, and there's ham. That hoagie comes with, and of course we call them hoagies from Philadelphia. It comes with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, and banana peppers.
Awesome. Okay. Now tell us about this Philly.
Well, the Philly cheesesteak is a little different. We brought a different concept to Jacksonville. We roast our steak meat, so it's tender, it's juicy, it has flavor, unlike anything that you would normally get from a traditional cheesesteak, which is made on the flat grill. You know, of course, the meat's dried out. So we also take real American cheese and we melt it down into a sauce form. Our rolls are ordered from Philadelphia. I get them in probably once or twice a week. Amorosos, they're authentic for Philadelphia. So it's a great tasting sandwich.
Yeah, they look amazing. Now, when it comes to the rolls, what is the variety that people can get? Is it white only? Is it wheat?
Well, I'm sure you could probably get wheat, but white is probably the most popular. Amoroso has been a Philadelphia roll company probably for over 60 years. If you go to Philadelphia, any cheese place you go to will have Amoroso rolls.
Awesome. Now, can people get sides with your sandwiches?
Sure, we have seasoned fries. We do our fries in the oven, so there's nothing comes out of here with any grease. So our fries are pre-seasoned, and we bake them in the oven. We also offer a cheddar cheese sauce to go over them, so you can get them with cheese or without. It's real cheddar that we melt down the same way that we do the American cheese, and we pour them over top of the fries.
Oh, that sounds great. I love cheese.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Awesome. So tell us your hours.
Tuesday through Friday, we are open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturday, we're open from 11 to 5, and we're closed Sunday and Monday.
Okay, where can people find out more?
Well, we have a Facebook page. You can go on Facebook. Anytime you go on Facebook, if you see a video, it's going to be exactly what you get when you open your sandwich. So what you see is what you get.
Awesome.
I put all my food on there. so people have an idea of what to expect.
What are your specials here?
Well, I try to bring a little bit of Philadelphia down here every once in a while. So normally I'll make soup from scratch. I've made vegetable soup, made a potato soup, French onion, broccoli and cheese. I've done a meatball grinder, chicken cheesesteak. Matter of fact, it's our special this week.
Okay.
I've done a buffalo chicken cheesesteak. So things that I've done a pizza steak as well. So anything that they serve in Philadelphia, I try to incorporate on some of our specials that we have throughout the week.
And you guys be sure to head to WNCT.com and find the Be Our Guest tab to get your $50 certificate for only $25 because these will sell out fast.
The previous segment is sponsored by Philly Guy Subs.
It's time for this or that. We're between two choices and we pick which one we prefer. So would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your younger self or your future self?
Probably my future self. Because I kind of I want to see where she is and be like, okay, so what do I need to be doing to get there?
I agree because I'm looking forward.
Yes.
So like if anything, I'd rather go into the future than
Yes.
look backwards.
Like my younger self, sweet as she was, I don't know if I
There's
could talk
nothing
to
we can
for
give
a
her right
minute.
now. She's already...
She was kind of unhinged, I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Remember to enjoy every moment of your Eastern lifestyle, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Segments in today's episode are sponsored by Forest of Eden Farm and Nursery, Tilted Cat Mushrooms, and Philly Guy Subs.